Talk It Out with your girl Joy,
KT,
and Gabby,
where we talk real life, love, and politics.
This is Talk It Out. This is KT,
Joy,
and Gabby.
And today we're going to be talking about something that has gotten a really bad rap in our society. So if you want to start, go ahead, Gabby.
So today we're going to be talking about feminism and misogyny and sexism as it appears in our culture.
Everything that makes people cringe.
Right. And the title of this podcast is called If Feminism is Cancer, I Don't Want Chemo. And why I said that is because a lot of times when you go onto blogs and videos and stuff, they always say feminism is cancer, like it's something detrimental to us. But I think if feminism...
It's going to harm us.
Right. If feminism is cancer, it's the best cancer that you could have because it uplifts, it creates equal playing fields, and it's just the betterment of society. So, the first question I'm going to ask is, can somebody define in their own terms what feminism is to them and why we need it?
Okay, so feminism to me is, let's see here, being able to coexist with different races, sexes, gender, sizes, disabilities without the fear of oppression or judgment. To me, that's what that is.
Is that everybody or just women?
No, feminism, I feel like to me is not just women feminism. To me, feminism is intersecting, and it's multiple people, multiple genders, multiple everything, just everything all combined together and being able to live in harmony without the oppression and without the, the fear of someone being like, ew, oh my God, you're fat, or something like, ew, oh my God, you're black, or something like that. So to me, feminism is just intersecting, and it's
what do you
not
mean
just
by
women on the
intersecting?
inside.
Yeah, I was gonna
what
say.
What does intersectional mean? I heard you use that word.
Intersectional to me is, I don't like crossing different paths. So you can be black and queer, or you can be queer and fat, or you can be a part of multiple
groups of people.
Right, multiple oppressed groups of people at the same time.
And I think the main thing about it, when I see intersectional feminism, it's you coexisting in a multiple world.
Right.
So
yeah.
You are, not only are you a woman, but you may be black. Or you may be a certain size, or you may be a certain socioeconomic class, and those different levels have different. There's different levels to it, because you could be in the black community, but because you're a woman, men might speak down to you. Or you could be in the feminism community, and because you're black, the white feminists speak down to you. So intersectional feminism is a feminism where everybody is equal. There's no levels. There's no hierarchy to it.
Right. I agree.
I guess I think about it, and on Fridays, I sometimes on my Instagram, my personal one, I put like feminism quotes, but I really don't tend to think that much about feminism, to be quite honest. It's just something that's there, that happens in life that. To me, feminism is supposed to mean equality for women to be treated as equals like men. But today, in this day and age, there's so many different kinds of people out there. You just can't say women want to be treated equal as men anymore, because when they do, and everybody's gonna hate me for this, but when they do, people get upset, like when the army wanted to have women join the combat. Everybody was like, "Oh no, women shouldn't do that." But wait, didn't we just fight for equal rights?
Who are you following?
Yeah.
Who are you? Who is your Facebook friend? Because I agree. I mean, if we are at this point where I don't think that women want to be equal to men. I think we just want we want the same opportunities as men. You know what I'm saying?
No, I think it's deeper than that. Not only because if you if you take away on a basic level, just the basic of levels, just man and just woman, we have mostly the same opportunities. But we are not treated the same, which is why some people, even though we can both interview for a job, he might get the job and she might not, because she is a woman and they think, oh, a man can do it better. But they both interview, so they both had the opportunity. Right. You get what I'm saying? On the basic level. Let's not get started about where you come from, what you look like, what kind of dialect you have.
Let's just say
on the basic level.
Two people, same race, same economic, same background. Education, you know. I understand what you're saying. And also, let's bring up the fact that because she is a woman, she could be working in the same position as a man and get paid less. That's how the statistics go. You will statistically get paid less than a man.
And that's crazy.
And my thing is, how come every time you start talking about feminism again, when misogyny guys are around or misogynistic guys are around, and their first thing that comes up is, if you want to be treated like a man, then let me hit you like a man. Like, why does that always come up? Like, why are men so violent?
Exactly.
That's
why
not
do you
okay.
have to hit somebody to prove you're a man?
Right. Why must you be violent to prove that you are a man? And that goes into the hyper masculinity and how men feel like that they have to be so masculine in order to survive in this world. And feminism isn't just for women, and it is for men too, and it's for people who are not cisgendered. It's for, like I said, intersecting people, or people of different races, people of different sizes. You can be fat and you can like feminism, you can be skinny and you can be in feminism. Feminism is so much deeper than just two genders, male and female, and arguing against, can we please have better rights? It's deeper than that. It goes on deeper levels.
It goes
like Gabby was saying earlier.
Into the nuances of it. Like, even if we go back to the hyper masculinity, the way feminism tackles that is, they say, man, it's okay for you to be vulnerable. It's okay for you to be emotional. Right. Your feelings are valid, and we embrace those different aspects of you, not just the physical aggressive side. And you don't have to be physical and aggressive all the time and angry to be a man. You
don't have to fix on cars. You don't have to be able to fix the light in your house. You don't have to.
Mine do.
Like, what I'm saying is, to me, feminism, when I tackle it, then you don't have to, like, to me, you have no gender roles do not exist to me in feminism, because if it did, then I would have this big huge like stereotype that all men must fix cars and all men must be able to fix the lights. And because there are women out there, there are trans women, there are trans men, there are people out there who are not cisgendered men who can work on cars too. And it's also the stereotype like all fat people are unhealthy, but as I have said multiple times, I'm the healthiest fat chick that you will ever know. I don't drink sodas, I don't eat sugar, and I'm a vegetarian. So it's like, you can't put this stereotype on someone in feminism. I feel like that's what feminism is, though.
Yeah. What do you gotta say, Joy? Because Joy didn't really.
I just I feel like I had a bad rep with the whole child episode, and I don't want to say anything that's gonna be like, controversial. But I mean, that's the
just, point. Come on,
but that's exactly. But that's just me. So I mean, you're gonna be upset with me, especially KT with what she just said.
I'm not upset.
But okay, you said you don't believe in gender roles. I don't believe that men and women men can only do one thing and women can only do one thing. I don't believe that. I believe a man can cook just like a woman can cook. I believe that a woman can run for president just like a man can run for president. You know,
that's not having gender roles.
But I also think that there is a clear difference between man and woman, and we have to accept that difference in order to move past, what do you call it, conflict. Mm-hmm. If we don't accept our different, if we're that's like being colorblind. Oh, I don't see color. Just because you said you don't see color, that means you obviously see color. I don't see genders. Obviously you do, because you know it's a difference.
Right.
I think I got distracted. I think because people say there, of course, there are differences between male and female for the most part. I mean, a lot of times there's a difference biologically, but just as far as like emotionally, I mean, testosterone in men does make them a tad more aggressive. But I think a lot of this stuff is society. Like, think about it. As children, boys, they grow up. They can be 4 years old, and if they're crying, folks telling them not to cry, and they're 4.
And man up.
And to
You're
man up.
4 years old. Why should you have to man up? You're 4. Your whole world is falling apart because no one will give you a cookie.
Right. They're already teaching them not to show emotions, and that aggression. They encourage aggression, and the aggression is positive, and aggression that's how you become a man and hit somebody and kick somebody and need to bleed and
you know, if you're running around and like trying to pull a girl's hair and teasing her, that obviously means you like her. Like, that is so messed up on so many levels.
And then they grow up and nobody's ever validated their emotions or feelings because they're supposed to be guys and supposed to be macho.
I agree with that.
When it's time for them to get into a relationship, they don't know how to express themselves. They're just standoffish, and they can't. It doesn't work.
I guess I'm a walking contradiction because I agree with what you're saying about, especially our boys. We do tend to tell our boys that if they need to man up or act like a boy or do this.
Yeah.
And while I'm laughing because I agree with what you're saying in the sense that we need to be more open to our boys, especially our boys' emotions. Mm-hmm. But also, man up, like.
What do you mean when you say man up?
What does that mean?
But see, me though, I will tell a girl to man up.
But what does that mean?
For me, it just means stop crying over like the children that I'm watching now. Mm-hmm. If they cry over something that they need to cry over, like they hurt themselves or because they're going through a lot of a situation right now. I don't want to disclose that, or they're somebody in their life disappointed them. Then I'm like, okay, it's an understandable cry. You know, get it out. Tell me how you're feeling. We can fix this and work through it. But if you're crying about a cookie you can't get, stop crying. Shut up and go sit down and watch TV.
I think they're different, but I think those emotions, like if they're crying about that, I mean, I wouldn't even fret about it unless they were just being loud and just howling and screaming. I mean, if they cry, they're feeling sad because
that's fine.
To them, in their universe,
but the children that I'm with, they act ridiculous. They cry, they bang their heads against walls, and it's crazy because one, you don't want them to hurt themselves, and two, you know that they can't go out and act like that in public. So, man up. That's just my word for it. I say man up, or I say quit. I don't know what I say, but I will say man up. I have said that. Mm-hmm. So that just.
What about the way that we dismiss women's feelings? It's just her period.
Like, I hate that. I hate that.
So you're okay with dismissing?
But I just said you shouldn't dismiss their feelings,
right?
If it's something accurate. But if you break a nail, if a girl breaks a nail, quit crying about it.
It hurts.
It hurts, but you don't need to sob like your life is
just on her
ending.
period. She'll be okay. Like
the same way if a guy skinned his knee, I skinned my knee, but I cry for 5 seconds and get it over with and move on. I'm not crying.
The difference is when you skin your knee, it's okay for you to cry. When a man skins his knee, it's not okay for him to cry.
It's okay, cry, fix it up, put the Band-Aid over
not
it. Once
in
it's over,
standards.
you're done.
I think that's the point that Gabby was going for. In society standards, it's not okay for a man to cry.
It's not okay for a man to cry about anything. Remember when LeBron James won the championship, and he had gone through so much heck going back to that team, people saying he couldn't do it, like all this stuff, and he won the championship pretty much on his own, and he was happy and ecstatic, and he cried, and people made fun of him. Like, you can't even express joy without somebody having a
I get what you're
thing.
and
saying.
that's
where
especially
black people.
Crying.
I can't with KT right now, y'all.
What is that meme?
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, Michael Jordan. Like, they always have him like tearing up really, really hard, and like that's hilarious to everyone. But like, it's because they're making fun of him crying. That's where that stemmed from.
Okay, I don't think that there's anything wrong with men crying or boys crying. There's something wrong because they need to get out that emotion. I think that, but there is something wrong with not expecting them to do something because you don't want them to follow a gender role. Like, if Tia Mowry's Hendrick, is that her name? Tia Mowry Hendrick?
I'm not sure.
Well, I'm sorry if it's not, but I love you, Tia and Tamira. But that anyway.
Yeah.
Tia Mowry Hendrick, she has a boy and he has really long hair, and she was talking against gender roles and how you shouldn't just expect somebody to do this because he's a boy and he shouldn't have long hair. And so she keeps it braided sometimes, and sometimes she lets it down. But don't get mad at society if they think that your boy is a girl, because he did look like one in his pictures.
But who is to define what a girl is?
I think it's just people. It's just how society views. I mean, they think
if your hair is extremely long and he's a baby, so all babies kind of have this really, really cute cherubic face, and if you want him to be defined as a boy, then define him as a boy and braid his hair back, or quit whining about somebody calling your son a girl.
Oh, that's so problematic. Oh my goodness. Anyway,
I'm
sorry. I understand. I understand what you're saying. But that's so problematic.
Agree with the. I mean, I don't agree with don't whine, but I mean, if somebody, because they don't know you or they're whatever, if they call your son a girl, just correct them and be like, no,
he's a boy. I mean,
you can. There's nothing wrong with talking about it, airing your grievances, because that's what we do with social media. We go on there to air our grievances, but just correct them and let them know.
It's something when she tries to take a stand against gender roles, then it becomes a thing about how her boy can wear his hair however he wants, which is true. But if you want to follow that route, and if you want to stay that route, then don't get upset when he is mistaken for a girl. Because obviously, if you're not into a gender role, then you don't care which gender he's appropriated as, right? So why are you upset that somebody is mistaking your son for a girl?
I don't think it's that she wants her child to be gender neutral. She just thinks he has hair. Why should I grow? Why should I cut it?
Right.
I don't think she should.
If he has really long hair, why should she? If he himself identifies as a boy, then why should she have to continue to correct people? Like, she shouldn't have to do
No,
that
it's a baby. He's not even.
Just because he has long hair. Like, you shouldn't have to, just because he has long hair, how does that automatically assume he's a girl?
I mean,
no, you don't. But if the mother who's dressing her son puts his hair in a ponytail, don't be mad that the little one thinks it's a boy.
Oh yeah, I mean, children, yeah. Even some parents, but children, they don't know.
Exactly.
They just know what they've learned or whatever. Girls have long hair, boys have no hair or very short hair.
So this makes me like this. Okay, so since we've talked about children in this, how do you feel about adults like this? Because that kind of plays into being trans and being not cis. Like,
what?
Cisgender means you identify with the sex you were given at birth.
Or that. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Why is it? Wait, what? Why is that a different name now? I thought you just.
But that's biological terms. That's biology.
Oh, okay. So we're in academia now.
Yes, CIS, cis.
Oh, you see how they did that to me? Okay.
We on top of that, we like to educate.
Yeah, we do.
Okay. But going to that, what was your question?
Like, how do you okay, just period, how do you feel about women who present themselves as masculine and men who present themselves as feminine? Like, how do you feel, Gabby? Because Joy kind of talked earlier, but how do you feel, Gabby, period, about that?
I don't care.
You don't care at all? Like, at all?
I mean, it doesn't, it has nothing to do with me. It doesn't hurt me. This is the thing. Life is too short. We're going to live probably 80 years. You probably might live less than that. If you're getting hung over about what people put on their body and how they're wearing the hair that grows out of their head, you got too much time on your hands, or you have no life. So it's nothing. I mean, if you come, if there's somebody and you make a mistake and you call them the wrong thing and they correct you, just be like, oh, okay, my bad.
That's an honest mistake.
My bad,
right?
dude. Yeah. Or my bad, lady. That's it. I mean, there's nothing really to think about. I mean, you can not agree if you don't want to agree, but in the long term, it's not going to affect you. It's not going to affect your life. And life is too short to be worried about what other people are doing with stuff like that.
But there are people in this world who do. So
there's people that like get hung over about it.
Right, that oppresses these types of people.
She loves that word.
It does. It does oppress us.
Oppress. It should be stamped on your forehead. Oppressed.
Yeah. I agree.
I don't know how we get.
I don't know either, but okay, back on track.
Because I want to talk about like trans folk and queer folk, because they're a part of feminism and they're part of intersecting feminism.
Okay, so
but it's different because, well, to me it's different because when you're talking about feminism, it's a whole different topic when you get into the, I don't know, I think more letters have been added, so please excuse me if I say it wrong, but it's a whole different topic when you speak about feminism and men and women, and then feminism in the LGBT
not necessarily
community.
No,
because just
really
because somebody is masculine and a woman that has short hair doesn't mean they're a part of the LGBT.
I know, but I'm talking about those who identify as.
But I was just saying that kind of plays into part of it, because most of the time when you see somebody and they're a lady and they're dressing masculine, you assume either she's a part of that community
or it's laundry day
or whatever. So it applies. Feminism applies because feminism says you can do whatever you want. You can wear whatever you want. What you wear has nothing to do with. No, you shouldn't be judged by that. You, as a woman, you should not have to wear pink every day. You don't have to wear skirts. You don't have to wear dresses. You can put on a suit if you want to. If you're a guy, you can put on a tunic or a kilt if you want to. Feminism is just like everybody should have equal opportunities. Everybody should be free to express themselves in whatever masculine feminism aspect is they want. That's how I view it.
I agree. I mean, I get what y'all saying, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. I just think that when you talk about feminism,
hold on, I'm sorry. We went back because she said something about white feminism earlier, which white feminism is just that. What you're saying, like it's just male, female. Like white feminism. Why does that have to be white feminism? Because that's just kind of like
white feminism is not just male female. White feminism frames the white woman as the face of feminism. Like when you mostly see like feminists and stuff on TV,
it's just like the equality of women, which I feel like is kind of what you're saying. Like feminism
when those people, no, it's not. Don't put words in my mouth. Talk about feminism to me. I don't think about feminism. Like I said, I don't really think about feminism because whenever I do see somebody that claims they're talking about feminism, it's always a white person, and I can't identify with that person because they don't know my struggle. How can they? I think feminism is every woman of every color getting equal, not only getting equal rights and getting equal opportunities, but getting equal treatment. When I say feminism is not about a change of the female or the change of a male, it's a change of both.
Yeah.
All societal thinking.
Yeah.
Because just because you're a woman, the female does not mean you have a female brain. You know what I mean? If that's the case, we might as well say we can have a female legs or female stomach. What? This just crazy. You don't have to say. I don't think of feminism as white feminism, because I don't even know what that is. But I think of feminism as every woman of every color, of every kind, saying, hey, we all need to stand together because we all identify as women. And each woman, no matter if you're black, white, purple, blue, you deserve an equal opportunity, an equal chance, an equal treatment, equal all around.
Well, you just defined intersectional feminism.
Well, that's wonderful.
That's what intersectional feminism is about. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Men and women in the church.
Oh, God. We've had some people hating on it.
It's fine. So, most of us have grown. Well, all of us were born and raised in the church.
Especially in the South.
Yes. So, we kind of understand the dynamics of it. And we understand that the Bible has been used to pretty much say women cannot be in leading, teaching roles, teaching a man, because apparently we don't have that capability.
They can't be preachers, but they can be Bible study teachers and stuff like that. Yeah.
So women are allowed to be in the pews, of course. They're allowed to pay tithes, of course. They're allowed to be ushers. They're allowed to cook your food. They're allowed to pretty much do the housework of the church. But men are most churches, because now that's kind of changing. But it's like men are allowed to be the deacons and the elders and the preachers and the evangelists and whatever.
In a normal church of, like, is it Church of Christ? Because that sounds like my church.
No, in churches in general.
Really? Because I've been seen in Baptist church where they have female preachers, right?
But no, I didn't say all. I said even in most, it's kind of changing.
Oh, in most. Okay.
That's kind of, for years, decades, ever since the church has started, that has kind of been the frame of mind.
It has. Y'all, I wanted to be a preacher when I was like 6, 7, or 8. And my grandma said, girl, don't you say that out in this church. I said, why? And she's like, women are not preachers. I said, oh. Okay.
Oh, bless your soul. You can still be a preacher.
That's so sad.
But despite that, I mean, my mom, she's a minister. She's a woman. And back in the day, she used to go to churches and speak all the time. But, like, in some denominations, she was only allowed to speak on, like, women's days and stuff like that. She could never speak at, like, the main church service. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sexism.
You would not be allowed in my church.
And even, like, something I noticed, because my mom, she watched a lot of preaching channels and stuff like that. And these guys, these male pastors, they put on these huge conferences. They have conferences for women. They have conferences for men. One thing I notice is, in the women's conference, there's always male pastors preaching to them.
Right.
I mean, they can have, most of them might be women, but they will have like at least 2 or 3 male pastors. In a male conference, no women at all. At all. So I'm like, so the justification for not having a woman at a man's is, well, she's a woman, she wouldn't understand what we're going through. Okay, then why do you have 3 male pastors talking to women?
But I thought you said the justification. We want to get it right now. I thought you just said that that the Bible says something about women teaching to men. That's probably why the woman is not teaching the man, right?
Probably, but still, like what I
get what you're saying. I just want to justify what you're saying. So nobody comes back.
People could say it says it in the Bible. Okay, sure, whatever. But even when the guys are preaching to the women, it's almost like condescendingly, like, you should do this for your man, and you're a woman, and you whatever, like that, like
the man is the head of the household.
I actually listen. I listen to these radio stations like all the time when I'm driving to work, or when I am driving here to Memphis or anything like that, and I listen to them just to make myself mad. and I don't know, like
I can't.
I listened to them just to make myself mad. And there was this group of women, and I think they were called like the apple trees or something having to do with the apple, and or the apple baskets or something. I don't remember. But basically, they're a group of women who, yeah, I don't remember what it was called, but they're a group of women who take in younger women, and they're, you know, with the church and everything like that. And they basically coach these younger women on how to keep the house clean, on how to take care of your husband, and how to do things like that. And I remember listening to the radio station like, this is crazy. Like, this is these girls who were like my age, like 23, talking about how, yeah, my husband is going to be the only person that's ever working, and I better not have to take care of any of the things but here at the house, and all I want to do is birth their children, and that's it. And I was just thinking, these women are crazy. Like, they have them brainwashed. Like, who does that?
Well, that sounds more like a cult.
Yeah, but it was Christianity. It sounds like a cult, but that's what they were basing it on. They were basing it on the Bible.
It's a whole lot of Christians out here,
quote unquote.
Yeah, but some people do take it to the extreme.
Yeah.
But I also have to say,
I already know.
Okay, first of all, I hate every time I'm in church and the preacher says anything that has to do with men roles and women roles. I just get so upset. I just be like, look, I'm not doing this. I don't have to do that. He's going to do this, and he's going to, like, what do you mean he's the head of the household? He better know that I'm the neck. But I do kind of, like, okay, this girl I know, she went to college. She was in the Mrs. program. You know what that is, right?
No.
The MRS degree. She just wanted to be a Mrs. to get married.
What? Oh, okay.
What kind of?
Yeah, she told me that she really didn't want to come to school. Her parents told her to come, but she really just in school to meet a guy, and she wants to get married. She knows that she was put on this earth to be a mother, and that.
Nothing against women wanting to do that.
Yeah, but I say, hold on now.
At
she
the
was
same
on
time,
this earth.
like,
let me finish my story.
Let her finish.
She was put on this earth to be a mother, and that she's going to be a stay-at-home mom and have children, and that she wants her husband to work. And while that's good and everything, there's nothing wrong with her having her dream.
Right.
But I do think that women should be more prepared, because if we're on the topic of feminism, everything is not always going to be cookie cutter, and it's not going to be a storybook ending for everyone.
Right.
And if you're a woman, please, 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 I'm begging you, don't let your idealistic reality become
a nightmare.
Like a nightmare. Exactly. Thank you. A nightmare.
Because,
don't let him leave you, and you have no skills for yourself. You can't provide, so you're stuck in a marriage that you don't want, because you can't do anything for yourself because you've been dependent on him.
Right.
When my grandfather died, my grandfather paid the bills. He mowed the lawns. He took care of everything. When he died, she had to play catch up to a lot, because. And this is, she's older now. She is older and comes from a different generation. But when he died, she didn't know when the bills were due. She didn't know when the car notes were due. She didn't know anything besides how to grocery shop and cook. Now, my grandmother's a fighter, and I love her. And was a fighter, bless her soul. But she is not, she learned quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yeah.
But I don't want that for a young woman who can't learn quick, fast, and in a hurry. Do you hear what I'm saying?
I understand.
You have to have something else to bring to the table besides I want to have kids and.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Because like you said, anything can happen. Like not even that the guy left you or the guy's dead. Not even that he's dead, but he could lose his job, and now y'all are on the verge of being homeless because you don't know how to work and you don't have any type of skills to get a job, and he's working a part-time job. Y'all, it has to be a 50-50 thing.
Yeah, I mean, marriage is supposed to be 50-50.
Right, like even if that dude has a 6-figure paying job, if I was her, I would work part-time somewhere so I at least have money in my pocket. You never know what was gonna happen. He might leave you with the lady.
I can understand what women who don't want to work should be aiming for, because once I get my law degree or whatever degree I'm gonna get, and I'm settled in, and I have my children too, I do want to be around to raise them. And I want my husband to have a successful job, to as far as me not being having to work, but I can go to work when I want. I do want to be comfortable.
Right.
That's just me. I mean, anybody who don't want to be comfortable lying to themselves.
Okay. But yeah,
I'm going to bring something to the table. Yeah. If my husband loses his job, I'm still going to have a law degree. I'm still going to be able to come on a radio show, hopefully by then, and guest star and make some money.
Right.
So that's just...
That's just life. Like, exactly. You gotta have a plan B.
You can't say you want equal rights, but you don't want to work a job.
Right.
What is that?
You're not asking for equal rights. I don't
exactly.
Even know what
you're asking for Liberty Beaver's mom.
Pretty much 1950s.
That's what Donald Trump wants, to get back to good old America.
Pretty much. Why do you think people are afraid of feminism?
I think when people say they're afraid of feminism, it's because most people think if you're a feminist, you hate men. Mm-hmm. You don't have to be a feminist to hate men. People do that naturally. He broke up with you, so now you hate all men until the next one come along. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
that's me.
People do that naturally. Just because someone says, "Oh, I'm a feminist," or "Oh, you're a feminist, ain't you?" I've got that. I had somebody said that to me before, and I was like, "What?"
Or if you try to correct their unpolitical correctness,
you're a feminist. Like,
how dare I
ask you not to call me that well?
Right.
Exactly. How dare I ask for equal pay on a job that 9 times out of 10 I do better than you?
Right. You're like because they don't want to change the status quo because it's comfortable for them.
Exactly. I mean, because they're winning.
Right.
Nobody wants to be in first place and go back to 5th place, or be in first place and end in a tie, because that's not winning. That's not gold.
Exactly.
We can't. Women and men don't want to share the gold. They want to chip off a quarter of it and still have 75 cents of gold.
Right. That's true. Okay. Closing remarks. Do you have anything you would like to add? Summarize this episode. KT.
I don't have anything to add. I think you guys are right when you're saying, I don't think we really touched on other aspects of feminism.
That's
but
a whole different topic.
But okay. There's nothing else that I can add.
What about you, Gabby?
Yeah, there was some more stuff we didn't talk about. But this is kind of going over. We might have to do a feminism part 2, because I wanted to talk about Nate Parker and that whole sex scandal thing, and how we address men that have been convicted or been allegedly accused of sexual misconduct and sexual abuse towards women. But that's going to be another episode. But yeah, feminism is good. I'm all for feminism, and yay.
Well, that was very exciting.
That has to be our next episode. Go ahead.
Nothing. I don't really have, like I said, I don't really think about it that much. If feminism is not a problem for me, like I fight for my rights, and that's really all I can do, because the face of feminism is not me. So I don't really fight for that feminism. I just fight for equality for everybody. Because I really don't, to be honest, I don't really care about anything that doesn't involve me. Like, that sounds so vain, but here's what I mean when I say that. Here's what I mean. If it's not affecting me, why should I care about it? Because nobody cares about what's affecting me.
Not necessarily.
Well, when I, as far as feminism goes, when I say that, I mean when people are on TV talking about feminism, they're not talking about what affects me.
But that's what we were. That's what Katie was talking about. The hashtag white feminism. That is the mainstream brand of feminism. That's why whenever somebody's talking about feminism, they're a older white lady,
That's
or
why
a
there's
young
intersecting feminism.
or a young white lady, and they do have a brand of feminism called womanism, which was coined by Alice Walker, who wrote The Color Purple, and that's pretty much more accepting and more intersectional, and it's dealing just personally with how black women face both racism and sexism, and the different levels and the different things we have to straddle, like being a part of the black movement, but people being sexist towards you, or being part of the feminist movement and dealing with racism. So there are movements that are specific. That's what intersectionality is about. It's just about you finding your place in feminism, your little niche thing, and you just do the work within that. So yeah.
Okay, here's a quote like that. We should end it like this, y'all.
Okay.
Here's a quote by the ever popular Taylor Swift.
Oh no!
Oh my God! For real?
Well,
of all
should
the
I
things,
change?
feminism, and you choose Taylor Swift.
Okay, here's
Here
is a quote about the ever popular Miley Cyrus.
Even worse.
What? Y'all don't
Miley.
like her?
No, the thing is, Miley Cyrus and Taylor Swift are hashtag white feminism.
White feminism, exactly.
Okay, but that's what. Okay, but
Okay, no, read it. What they say?
Okay,
So we can laugh at
Miley said, even though I disagree with some of her stuff, but anyway, Miley said, "I'm just about equality, period. I still don't think we're there 100%. I mean, guy rappers grab their crotch all effing day and have H words all around them, but no one talks about them. But if I grab my crotch and I have hot MBs around me, I'm degrading women. I'm a woman. I should be able to have girls around me, but I'm part of the evolution of that, I hope." That is just standard what you were saying, white feminism, because where is the issues?
Right.
Where
She's mad because she can't grope herself in public.
But then,
but she's right.
Rappers,
but
quote unquote, that's a key word for black people can grab their
Dudes can grab their crotch.
But I mean, I get what she's saying, but if you're gonna make a quote about feminism,
it's so delusioned and out of place. Like people, we really
Exactly.
dealing with stuff like getting paid less or being harassed in
and
the
all
streets.
she's worried about
by
is
men.
grabbing her crotch.
and she can't have model B's around her. Like, if you're gonna use the B word and the H word in the same sentence when you're talking about equality for women, that you want equality for all, period, then you're not really saying equality, because those are degrading words.
Right. Just
But that's
Miley.
my celebrity quote of the podcast.
Thank you, Miley, for helping our point. All right. So that was Talk It Out. This was our part 1 of feminism episode. We hope you enjoyed it.
Don't forget about www.audibleciral.com/talkitout, where you can get 180,000 free books if you sign up with us at the Talk It Out website.
Let me
Link
tell y'all,
audibletrial.com/talkitout.
I got my mom and dad to sign up for it, and my mom is just going ham. She's found all the little religious little audiobooks, and she's just having a ball. And my dad, he's found the little music ones, and he's listening to it or whatever and telling me about what he's learned. And of course, I am finishing my Lord of the Rings trilogy, so we're having
Negative on that, okay?
we're having an audibletrial.com/talkitout party
In your house.
yeah. So we want y'all to get on board. Join the
I
party.
am too, actually. I just downloaded a bunch of kids' books that I read to them, my cousins at night. And so they're like, "What story are we going to read? Can we read another one?" And so every time they ask for another one, I have to download another one. And I'm like, oh, God. But yeah, and it's free for like, what, 30 days?
Yep.
And then they're not that expensive. So I plan to keep using it.
So you should definitely go. And then also you should go and check us out on soundcloud.com/talkitout. As well as if you have any comments, you can always email us at talkitoutpodcast@yahoo.com, or you can always go on to Instagram, Talk It Out Podcast.
Our Instagram is popping, to be honest.
It really is.
Like,
it's hilarious.
we got memes, we got cats, we
Videos,
got funny stuff.
Everything.
And I love the whole YouTube one. I love the YouTube.
Oh yes, we are on YouTube. Just type in "Talk It Out"
Together,
one word.
the pink one.
Second word, podcast. Talk It Out is all one word, and the second word is a podcast. You'll see us. It's a pink background, says Talk It Out. But yeah,
That's it.
this is Talk It Out.
This has been Joy.
KG.
This is Gabby.
Talk it out.
Talk It Out.